Down, it's your boy King Spence, and welcome to the Tulsa Progression Podcast, where we talk, teach, and learn Tulsa music. And I want to talk to y'all about ways to build consistency, man. And it's a lot of answers to this question, and you'll get different answers every time you ask somebody. But me personally, I just wanted to really talk to y'all about the way that I've been building my consistency. If you pay attention to my career, really, I say that I've been very consistent in doing what I do. Like, I haven't taken very many breaks. And if I have taken a break, you probably didn't notice it because I probably was still dropping in the midst of my break. And just one of the keys, man, if you listening, I want to tell you a few of them. And I want to lead with the most cliche, motivational speaker, self-help book answer that I can give you. And that is, what is your why? Now, I don't know how many of y'all ever got into like self-help books or motivational speakers and stuff like that, but one of the things they always bring up is find your why. And I ain't gonna lie to you, for real though, I ain't gonna lie. Although I don't feel like I don't feel like I ever like wrote down my why. I've always understood that my why is progression. And my whole movement has always been based on that, is progress. That's why I do whatever it is that I'm doing when I'm doing it, is because I want to progress at it. So when it comes to videos or anything that you see me involved with, it's easy for me to commit to it and stay consistent because I'm in love with progress. I'm in love with looking at where I was and then looking at where I am now and just smiling and giving grace to God and just noticing that, like, dang, I'm making progress. And that's my why. Progress is my why. And you can't take progress away from me. The only way you can take progress away from me is by taking me out. You hear me? And as long as I'm involved, I'm always going to pursue progress. And that's my why. And I feel like if you don't got a why, whether it be your mom's, your family getting out the hood, or whatever it is, it's going to be real easy to lose your motivation and not stay consistent at whatever it is that you're pursuing. And realistically, you're not pursuing it if you're not consistent, because pursuing something requires you to move toward it. So if you're not moving towards something, you're not going to ever be consistent. And in order to be consistent, you got to be moving towards something one step at a time. You know what I'm saying? But that's one of the keys to what allows me to stay consistent with something, is just pursuing progress. You feel me? Just seeing me get closer to it is a turn on for me. Just noticing that I'm getting closer to it, it just makes me even more excited about getting even closer. You know what I'm saying? But one of the other ways that you can help yourself stay consistent, if you feel like you lacking consistency in something, I would suggest podcasts. That's funny, huh? Because you're watching this podcast, but I would highly suggest that, like, when you driving or when you going to sleep or when you, like, I don't know what kind of activities you might be doing, but activities that don't require your attention, like, say, for instance, playing video games on Xbox or PlayStation, one thing that I will always suggest that you do is turn on a podcast and listen to things that you want to be better at. So if you want to be more consistent with your health habits, I would suggest that you listen to podcasts that relate to health habits. If you want to be more consistent in spirituality and, like, getting closer to God, or, you know, really tapping into something deeper than yourself, I would say listen to podcasts about it regularly on the drive to work. You know what I'm saying? While you at work, put some headphones in. While you're playing video games, open up that Spotify app, hit play on a podcast, and play the game. Just turn the volume down, just enough where you can catch on to it You hear what I'm saying? That's one of the things that I would suggest that you do if you're trying to build your consistency in anything in your life. Listen to podcasts. And one of the last things that I could suggest is this: set a goal and go for it. That's one of the number one ways to build consistency in anything that you can do, is to set a goal and genuinely pursue it. So say for instance you cut yards, right? I would say set a goal that's so outlandish and so unrealistic and pursue it with everything that's in you. So if you cut grass, say for instance you got one lawnmower and you cut grass, make a goal to cut 10 yards in 1 week. Make a goal to cut 10 yards in 1 week and come up with a plan on how it can be done. If it requires you to reach out to 15 people per day just so that you can get those 10 yards in a week, that's what you got to do. And when you set that goal, go for it relentlessly. Don't stop. Pursue that mug. Really go for it. Really test yourself. Really test yourself. You hear me? Really go for it. Like, really see what you can do. And that's what I would suggest. If you want to build your consistency, get used to doing stuff like that. Build a repetition of pursuing things that are like dang near not realistic. You feel me? Because that's the stuff, like if you pursuing 10 yards in 1 week, even if you fail, right? Even if you fail, based on your plan, on how you were going to achieve it, even if you fail, you might only get 2 yards cut that week. You feel me? If you actually try and you only get 2 yards cut that week. Now you also gotta, when you look at that, you're gonna also see like, okay, what was I not good at? You reached out to 15 people every day for 7 days straight, and you only locked in 2. That's what, 15, 30, 45, 60, 75, 90. That's 105 people that you reached out to and you only locked in 2. So now you exposing to yourself that you got to get better at sales. You need to start listening to some sales podcasts and figure out what you need to tweak in your sales approach. You know what I'm saying? Just by setting that goal, it exposed to you all of the stuff that you might be doing wrong. You know what I'm saying? Your approach is dirty. You tagging people on Instagram or Facebook to trust. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm rambling. But the whole point is to set outlandish goals and truly pursue them with everything that's in you. And I feel like that's one of the number one ways to build your consistency, is by actually going after goals. When you see something, when you write it down and you actually going for it, it's a lot easier to commit to it. And that's all consistency is committing to something.
So based on these questions, I feel like these are the reasons the strong black woman stereotype or the strong black woman phrase can be negative and have a negative effect on us, because studies have already shown that this is how people are thinking. They believe that we are stronger physically, mentally, and that can affect the decisions they're making within the healthcare system. So I've never heard this phrase, a strong white woman. So I feel like we need to be very selective when we're using the phrase a strong black woman. Right?
Yes. Oh my gosh, what you just saying, it was like a light bulb moment for me. I've never heard nobody say strong white woman.
Ever.
It don't even sound right. I'm sorry, it don't sound right.
If you're watching on YouTube, be sure to leave your thoughts in the comment section below.